Balancing your life with your mental health can be extremely hard, especially when you don't even know that you're going through a mental decline. This is why it is so important for us to take care of our mental health on a daily basis, and not only when we feel like we're suffering with our mental health. Hey babe, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Treasure, your new favorite mental health girly. Welcome babe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos. In this video, we are going to go over 5 things that we should be doing on a daily basis to take care of our mental health while balancing real life situations. Number 1 is going to be practicing self-care. This should be something that we do on a daily basis. I know we all love our self-care Sundays, but we need to be practicing self-care on a day-to-day. When we practice self-care, we are training our brain and our minds to know that this is a time for us to focus on ourselves where everything else doesn't matter. Now, self-care Sundays are really good because those are usually the days that we take the time to do a full self-care routine. But on a day-to-day basis, if we do small things to practice self-care, that can really aid in supporting our mental health. Whatever activity you choose to practice on a day-to-day basis for self-care needs to be something that you can actually attainably do every day. So for example, if you're somebody that loves to run, but you don't have the time to go for a run every single day, that's going to be a Sunday self-care activity and not a daily self-care activity. Me personally, I have started to do nighttime self-care showers, which is something that I used to only do on Sundays, but now doing them every single night makes a huge difference in my mental health. Number 2 is going to be setting boundaries. This is something that I struggled with pre-depression because I was always so worried about other people's feelings about the boundaries that I have, and I would much rather deal with my own hurt feelings than to have to deal with someone else's hurt feelings. But babe, no. My boundaries and your boundaries are just as important as the next person. This is something that we have to do on a daily basis. Be clear about what boundaries it is that you need for yourself, for your mental health, and whoever chooses to respect those boundaries, they will. And if they don't, you don't need them in your life anyway. Making sure that we are setting boundaries and sticking to those boundaries tells us that we are important, we matter. When we set boundaries and we don't stick to them and we allow people to overstep boundaries or not respect our boundaries, we are training our brain that we don't matter and we're not important, and that person is more important than what we have going on, our feelings, our emotions, which is absolutely not true. We need to reset our brains and letting us know that our boundaries are important. It doesn't make us a bad person to have boundaries. It's actually extremely important for us to have boundaries to support a good mental health. So make sure you are setting those boundaries and sticking to them and letting go of the fear of other people not liking your boundaries, because babe, your boundaries are important and the people around you should respect them. Number 3 is going to be establishing routines. Now, this is also something that I was kind of doing pre-depression, but wasn't really something that I stuck to, but it's something that I learned while I was depressed of how important establishing routines is, just for your brain to know that at certain times of the day, these are the things that you do every single day. It helps to give you some structure, which is important for your mental health. Even though we all love a spontaneous moment, it is so important for us to establish routine that we are capable of sticking to on a daily basis, and training our brains to look forward to certain things. This is also something that's really good for us to do to create healthy habits, which is also extremely important for your mental health, to have those healthy habits when it comes to eating, exercise, and sleep hygiene. Those 3 things definitely affect your mental health, and establishing those things into your daily routines aids in supporting your mental health overall. Number 4 is going to be practicing mindfulness. You have heard me say this a bunch of times already, but doing the 4-4-4 method and really practicing your breathing is essential to your mental health. We are on the go all day long, 24/7. And sometimes we simply forget to breathe. We think that just breathing is a normal thing that we do every day, where we do it, we don't even think about it. I'm not talking about your breathing to live. I am talking about breathing to give your brain a mental break. Taking a moment to take deep breaths throughout the day helps your brain to reset and refocus, and gives it a little bit of relief and not feeling like it's always on the go. So taking a moment to practice mindfulness, whether it be in the morning, when you first wake up, giving your brain a moment to relax before you start putting it to work. In the middle of the day, maybe you're having a stressful day or a high pressure day, you need to just take a moment to breathe. Or at night, after you've come home from a long day of working or whatever it is that you need to do throughout the day, and taking a moment to breathe before carrying out your night routine. Last but not least, number 5 is seeking support. Now, we have our strong babes out there that feel like we can take over the world and we can do it all by ourselves. I admire you, but it is so important for us to have a support system and really be able to lean on people when we are having high stress days, because we can't do it all alone 24/7. We cannot take on the world by ourselves every single day. Sometimes we need to lean on people, and I think that it's so important for us to know and understand that it is okay to not be able to do everything by ourselves. Society has put it on us that we need to be able to be strong and take over the world and do all of these things where we don't need help, when essentially every human being needs help at some point, and it should not be a taboo thing to be able to ask for help and seek support from your loved ones. This is something that is so important to your mental health, having a good support system, because sometimes you are going to need to lean on somebody. When you don't have anybody to lean on, that can negatively affect your mental health, because in those moments when you feel like you actually do need a break and you do need help, you don't have anybody to lean on. That is taking your mental health towards a decline, because you don't have that emotional release that you need. This is why it is so important for us to make sure that we have good support systems with people around us. So to recap, we want to make sure that we are having daily self-care, prioritizing our self-care every single day, setting boundaries, sticking to those boundaries, and making sure that people are respecting the boundaries that we are setting for ourselves, especially respecting our own boundaries, establishing routines that are attainable for us to do every single day, practice mindfulness, making sure that we are breathing throughout the day, in the morning, in the middle of the day, at night, giving our brains a moment to relax and refocus, creating a good support system for those times when we need to lean on someone else. And remember, it is okay for you to need help. It is okay for you to reach out to someone that you love and you trust and tell them that you need an emotional release. That is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Love you, babe.